the director, writer, and actor in such fine films as Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and a TV show called Space. Will you guys give a big hand for Edgar Wright, please?
Hello gang, how you doing? I don't know what the H in Hall H stands for. Why don't you just shout out what H means? Horny? Okay. There has never been a time in my life where I have had to follow Sylvester Stallone. And we have 13 guests coming up, and I'm not sure that all of them combined can match one Lundgren. But goddammit, we're gonna try. And the only way that I can prove my masculinity is to, if he's still backstage, is to challenge Sylvester Stallone to an arm wrestle over the top style. Technically I win. Although if he comes back, I am in deep shit. We got so many guests that I am moderating myself, so the first question I'd like to ask myself is, when did I first hear about Scott Pilgrim? Well, that's interesting. I first heard about Scott Pilgrim in 2004 when it was first published during my first Shaun of the Dead US press tour. I came here for the first time 6 years ago, Scott Pilgrim was pressed into my hands, and it was love at first sight. So I'm really happy to be here 6 years later with the finished film. And why don't we meet our first guest? Why don't we meet the creator of Scott Pilgrim, Bryan. Let's have a look at some of his work. We would not be here without this man. Now, Scott Pilgrim's Finest Hour Volume 6 came out on Monday, and it is currently number 5 in the Amazon bestsellers list. Not the graphic novels bestsellers list, the real bestsellers list. If it was called Scott Pilgrim with the dragon tattoo, it would be number 1. But it's number 5. So, give your love to Bryan.
Thank
you. Now, we have 13 guests, so I'm going to ask all of our guests to answer with only one word. Bryan, after 6 years, how weird is it to be in Hall H right now?
How many words?
One word.
Weird.
I'm afraid, Bryan, that's all we've got time for.
See you later.
Oh, actually, I completely forgot. I have a special announcement to make. I'm sure some of you are here thinking that we're going to drop some kind of big exclusive bombshell, and I have a special announcement to make. On August the 13th, Scott Pilgrim will be released in 2D. At regular ticket prices. How do you people feel about watching a film without sunglasses on? That told him. Yeah! Okay, let's meet our next guest. Let's meet the other 2/3 of Sex for Bomb. Let's meet Stephen Stills and Kim Pine. So Mark and Alison, you both had to learn your instruments for this film, respectively drums and guitar. Can you tell me, in one word, how daunting that was, learning those instruments in 2 months?
Very.
Extremely.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for, Mark and Alison. Why don't we meet our next guest? Why don't we meet some of the ladies in Scott Pilgrim's life, one of which is a man? So, may I present to you Scott Pilgrim's sister, Stacey Pilgrim, the bane of his existence, Julie Powers, and his roommate, Wallace Wells. Geeks and Geeksesses, Anna Kendrick, Aubrey, Plaza, Keirin, Culkin. Now, my question to you, good people, is how disapproving, on a scale of 1 to disapproving, how disapproving are you of Scott Pilgrim's actions within the film? Mike.
5.
Could you repeat the question?
How disapproving are you of Scott Pilgrim in the film? 1 to disapproving.
I'm 6.
You're a 6?
7.
Keirin.
I'm gonna go with 4. I just like the number 4. I really don't know the answer to this question.
So, just if you're making notes, if you want to put this on as a web exclusive, that was 5, 7, and 4. Thank you very much. Let's meet our next guests. Why don't we meet 4 of the 7 evil X's? Now, my question to you guys is, in this film you have, you beat the crap out of Scott Pilgrim. I'd like to ask you how much you enjoyed beating Scott Pilgrim's head into the curb.
10,000 points.
Achingly. Achingly. That's how much I liked it. I was aching. It was so wonderful.
Devilishly. Comiconishly.
Trump card!
I don't think anybody's going to beat that adjective all weekend. Jesus Christ. Jason just dropped the C-bomb. Now, why don't we meet nerds and nerdettes? Why don't we meet the loves of Scott Pilgrim's life? Let's meet Knives Chow and Ramona Flowers. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies, can you tell me, how would you describe your feelings for Scott Pilgrim in this film?
It's complicated.
It's complicated with Alex Baldwin and Steve Martin.
Scottaholic.
Okay, well, before we bring out our final guest, I have a second special announcement. Also appearing in this film, from Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Not appearing in this film, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I'm sorry, guys. I really fucked that one up. I'm sorry. It's in 10 point. This is in 10 point. Okay, so, well, you might notice that aside from our final guest, Mr. Scott Pilgrim, there's somebody else missing from this panel, and that's Chris Evans. And Chris couldn't be here because he is shooting Captain America right now. But what you didn't know is that our final actor that we're going to meet actually auditioned for the role of Steve Rogers, and he got down to the last 500. So, let's meet our hero, Scott Pilgrim. To you is, how do you feel about losing out on the role of Captain America?
Predictable.
Would anybody like to see a clip from the film? That's like asking, who likes chocolate? But really, who likes likes chocolate. Here's a clip from the film.